One of the hardest yet most healing things that I've ever done is to forgive. I've always heard that forgiveness is godly, that forgiveness is the key to ending anger and resentment, bringing you contentment. But for someone like me who's been through trauma, who's been through things that have caused me to have a reason to grieve, to not believe that forgiveness would bring me any kind of joy, it made no sense to me. After I was diagnosed with cancer, a sister of mine said, God told me that there's someone in your life that you need to forgive, and if you forgive this person, then you'll be healed. All I could feel was anger rise up in my body, from my toes to my hips to my head to the cancer in my breast. Like, how dare she? How dare she blame this cancer on me? It took me months to understand that she was right, that I did have somebody to forgive in my life. 15 years before my cancer diagnosis, I experienced a serious capital T trauma. A trauma so serious it involved the police. And my interaction with the police was like a drama on Law and Order, except that the detectives weren't Olivia Benson and Detective Stabler, but this asshole who treated me like garbage under his foot, who blamed me, the victim, for what had happened. I was so angry. For years, I was on some NWA, fuck the police, to the point that I've gotten out of jury duty for telling that story. So I thought all my anger was toward the police. I felt like I had moved on. I hadn't even really thought about the person who had done this thing to me in years, but there was one day in the shower where the thought appeared that 15 years ago, I was not the same person that I was that day. And that if someone had to judge the person and the character that I was at that time, I might find that it wouldn't be fair, that there's so much change that has occurred there in my life. I asked myself the question, what if there's a possibility that that person who did the thing to me is not the same person he was either? And I forgave. Not because the trauma he gave me was not worth the years of pain and therapy, but because this secret anger was eating at me. And I cried and I let it go. A couple days later, a cousin of mine called me and she asked me, what scriptures are you holding on to? Now, I used to be a Bible thumper. I am no longer. I am more of a free-flowing spiritualist who still believes in Jesus, but also honors my African ancestry and what feels right to me. But that conversation got to me, and she recommended that I say scriptures to myself in the mirror. I tried it. I started repeating some scriptures that have meant something to me over the years, like, greater is he who lies within me, and they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up on wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and never faint. All of a sudden, a vibration started happening in my body. It was like an exorcism, minus my head turning, but my body started jerking, and it felt like 4 things came out of me, literally out of my mouth. It was 4 emotions, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, these exhales. And I felt free. All of a sudden, I felt healed. And I went to my bedroom to look at my phone, and it revealed that the time was 10:10. In fact, my phone was frozen. I couldn't unlock it. I was looking at this time, and something just told me that spirit, that divine intervention had come because of the attention I gave to forgiveness. And I'm about to cry because the next time I had a scan, the 4 lymph nodes that were cancerous in my underarm could not be detected. No lie, y'all, they were gone because the anger was. Forgiveness is not about relieving the person who hurt you of responsibility. Forgiveness is self-love. Forgiveness is releasing those negative hormones, that cortisol, that vitriol that eats at our cells and multiplies. I chose to let it go, and in choosing to let it go, I came to know that my sister was right. It was progress in my cancer fight. I began to see the light that holding on to anger is a cancer. I ask you, who are you angry at? This is not to detract from the truth of what happened to you. Like Solange says, you have a right to be mad, but ask yourself, what is it doing for your health? Because for me, it made me free to let it go. And I hope you know that freedom is available to you too. That is my hope for you, that you let go and allow love to fill that space that's been occupied by hate, that's been occupied by pain, and see what it does for you. Because for me, it made me glow even more. It gave me my swag back. It gave me my life back. 15 years of tears, and I no longer cry about what happened anymore because the memory is barely there. I live in the present now, and it's so much easier to wake up, so much easier to walk down the street not afraid of what might happen to me because of what happened before, because I know before was a different time. I know that before led me to where I am now. If not for that capital T trauma, I wouldn't be where I am today. And for that, I say thank you, not to the person who hurt me, but to myself for allowing myself to be free. I wish you health. I wish you wealth. I wish you the ability to drop whatever is eating at your heart. I pray for healing for your heart. And on behalf of who hurt you, I say I'm sorry. And it's sad that most of us will never even hear those words, even though we deserve to hear them. But even if you never do, you have the power to move on. I send much love to you. Thank you for listening, and I'll holla at y'all next time. Be blessed. Peace out.